Hey, Crypto Growth fam, how's it going? This is your host Shazib signing in. We're back with another video, guys. In this video, we will be discussing FLR network, data needs of the Finternet. It's going to be an interesting one, guys, so make sure to watch till the end. And folks, for those of you who are new to the channel, we primarily discuss utility coins and potential gems. If you're interested in any of that stuff, then subscribe to the channel and hit the notification icon for regular videos. And you can also support the channel by becoming a Patreon. Folks, before we begin, you guys can check out the Crypto Growth exchange and wallet partners. I personally use them. This is why they are the partners. I'm selective about it. You guys can check out MEXC and their referral code for your benefit. If you're interested, do check out what they're offering. And yeah, as far as the wallet partner goes, you guys can check out Decent and their biometric wallet, which has got an attractive $50 off. And you can also check out their biometric wallet 2x package, guys, which has got an astonishing $129 off only if you follow the link in the description box below, in terms of MEXC and Decent both. Anyways, guys, now let's see what's happening with FLR in real time. Any new info? I found this piece over here, guys. I really enjoyed this, so I wanted to share this with you folks. Look at this. This was a fantastic interview of Hugo Fillion by Ian Andrews, DC, of Chainalysis. Don't fade FLR. It is uniquely placed to handle the data needs of the Finternet. So let's see what Hugo has to say. Look at this: decentralized oracles, everything to know. This was a really good piece. You have to read this out yourselves. I'm going to be skimming through this. This is a bit long. Everything you need to know about decentralized oracles, September 4th, 2024. About a month old, a month plus old Chainalysis team over here. Okay, so where is the transcript? Quote of the episode. Okay, so let's begin with the quote. FLR's protocols are solving for cost, security, and flexibility by enshrining the oracles into the chain, as in integrating both the infrastructure and the security budget that is taking into one role and having a single token. Hugo Fillion, co-founder and CEO, FLR Network. Guys, this means that the FLR network is self-reliant. It is relying on itself for the layer 1, the F assets, the DeFi. Enshrining the oracles means that they've got native oracles, the FTSO, and the other mechanisms that they are self-reliant. This is why they are cost-effective, secure, and flexible. This is good. Minute-by-minute episode breakdown. Hugo's journey from hedge funds, skipping AI and ML to get into crypto. You have to, if you're interested, you guys can check out the podcast yourselves. We're just skimming through this as to what's happening. Why FLR decided to build a layer 1 platform with enshrined oracles, and I'll take a wild guess that this is for security, cost effectiveness, and self-reliance, obviously. Examining why data in the crypto landscape is fundamentally broken. What are enshrined oracles and why are they important? Introducing layer 0 and the solution to cross-chain interoperability issues. FLR use cases with decentralized exchanges and DeFi projects, exploring huge oracle failures and lack of data providers in the industry, the emergence of regulation, KYC, and AML in a decentralized ecosystem. FLR announced new FLR data connector solution, which we discussed in another episode. You guys can check that out as well. And all of this is being connected with FLR network and its ecosystem, their solutions, Oracle solution, DeFi solution, layer 1 solution, regulatory solution, and giving use cases to the likes of BTC, XRP, Doge even. This is great. So look at the transcript over here. I was going through this. This was interesting. So we're going to be skimming through this. Look at this Ian. Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Public Key. Hugo, I am fascinated to learn about Flare Labs. It is a big project. Maybe since I'm guessing many of our listeners haven't heard of that before, we can start with just a brief overview of what you're building at Flare. So Hugo is summarizing it. Absolutely, we are building what we think of as the best platform for data in the space. Now, this is where the title is coming from. I'm confused with the titles. I might select one of the two that I discussed. Anyways, Flare as a network is an EVM layer 1, and it is the first network to have enshrined oracles integrated into the network itself, and basically not relying on third-party oracles and like Chainlink even, guys, which Ethereum which does not which is not enshrined in Ethereum itself, as far as I know and I'm concerned. Those are oracles for prices, oracles for Web2 proofs, oracles for Web3 proofs. So this allows developers to build very feature-rich applications which get their data directly from the network in a highly decentralized and heavily secured way. Pardon me. So, yeah, one more thing that Flare boasts is that they are truly decentralized, and they are heavily secured, and they are self-reliant. The decentralized aspect comes into play, that no centralized entity is controlling their network, no third parties involved. It is truly trustless. Okay, Ian, it sounds really exciting. I want to dive in. I have so many questions. This is where Hugo is giving his background a bit, but we want Flare. You have to check this out. This is really interesting. You have to know who Hugo is, his background, and all of that stuff. Look at this. Well, I mean, I think we've been doing a lot of work on where blockchain and AI can intersect, and we recently put out a paper called Consensus Learning, which is about collaborative AI. You have issues with probabilistic models that really they're just drawing inferences from probability distributions, and when you want to make a decision, a really important decision, like, does this person have cancer? Is this car about to crash? Do we need to take action? You want a very high degree of safety. This is true. AI is a nascent, an infant tool, guys, and it is still developing. It is still evolving, and over the course of years, I think it will mature. Companies are working on AGI as well. If you artificial general intelligence, where models will depend on itself to grow and solve problems. So here I think Ian is asking about BTC, Ethereum, and all of that stuff. Okay. Hugo, I mean, I think the biggest issue I have is that there's billions being spent on infrastructure trying to achieve higher performance, decentralized compute. But if your data isn't decentralized, there's very limited reason to use decentralized compute to feed centralized data into decentralized compute. To me, that calculus doesn't stack up. So basically, you have to have the entire ecosystem needs to be decentralized for a good functioning of the ecosystem, according to Hugo. I think he's talking here about some NFT and all of that stuff. Okay, NFTs are one aspect, relatively small market cap relative to the amount of value that's being transacted across protocols that are pulling data from existing Oracle systems. Just to pick you up on that, I mean, AMMs thankfully don't depend on data, at least most of the versions we're familiar with, like Uniswap, but lending protocols do. Perks, DEXs do. Anything financial, real-world assets that needs to have a price does. anything to do with being able to do proofs from other chains or from Web 2 into the space needs data. Data, as they say, is the new oil, folks. And in the future, those that have good data, the projects that have good data, access to good data, secure data, accurate data, efficient data, low cost data, I think they will sustain the course of time. The test of time. To give you an example, a really simple example of where this is falling down, the lowest number of data providers, if you take existing Oracle systems, the lowest number of data providers that is serving a particular price, there is 5. It is an incredibly low threshold for collusion. Okay, so this is where now FLR comes. I think I understand the problem now fully. So let's talk about the solution with FLR, basically. Hugo, yeah, what are we solving for? FLR's protocols are solving for cost, security, and flexibility by enshrining the oracles into the chain, as in integrating both the infrastructure and the security budget that is taking into one role and having a single token. FLR is able to offer data at a much lower cost than a third-party oracle. I told you guys that Chainlink or Pyth are third-party oracles because they ultimately are equal users of the chain like everyone else. Much of the data on FLR is free because of that, and it means that we also don't have to have a token, which means that we can keep our data free and network can benefit by people building with that data. Guys, one of the things that I really like about FLR is that their native token FLR is going to be used whether it's the layer 1 aspect of things, or if you're talking about oracles, if you're talking about F assets. Chainlink, you have seen it has done so well, it has appreciated so well despite it being another token and giving use case to Ethereum. As far as FLR is concerned, we've got FLR network, and yeah, the Canary network and Songbird, that is the testing ground for FLR. But ultimately, the FLR token is the one that is driving the fuel for the ecosystem, is the FLR token, and it is used for transactions and DeFi and everything. Look at this, we can keep our data free and the network can benefit by building with that data, using it in their applications and generating transaction volume. That is the use case. Secondly, by unifying the security of the network with the Oracle through merging that validator and data provider role, we can maximize the decentralization and security budget. FLR has 100 infrastructure providers who are providing validation, but each one of them is contributing to every single price. On FLR, we can have up to 1,000 prices updated every single block, and each one of our 100 infrastructure providers is contributing to every price, and we have about 67% of the circulating supply of our tokens. So they've got majority of the circulating supply of the token, securing those infrastructure providers in some way, either staked directly or delegated to their oracles. So by staking and delegating, there is an entire infrastructure of passive income opportunity as well. In terms of the decentralization, having a large number of providers providing a price, and on FLR, that is essentially a cohesive number of providers providing a price and having a very high security budget. No other project can really come close to providing that level of protection around data. Folks, if the data is not protected, what would you do with that data? The data, the blockchain, the ethos, the spirit of blockchain is that the data should be secure. There shouldn't be any compromise. Lastly, because we've built the Oracle into the chain, we have had a lot of flexibility on the design, which means that we can optimize the chain for being able to handle data. Handling data obviously at a high transaction volume is not easy, and they want to do it in the minimum cost possible and most cost effective approach to it, being able to minimize cost of handling that data, whereas third-party oracles are very constrained by the network they're operating on. And we all know about the Ethereum gas fees as well, guys. They're extremely high. They're constrained to the design decisions made by an other network and not truly being able to maneuver it in as a part of a holistic part, guys, of an infrastructure of a network. So you have to read this out yourselves as well, the background of Hugo and a lot of stuff that Hugo has said in this piece. It is really interesting. I went through it. You have to check this out. So, guys, what do you guys think about Flare and how they are handling data? I would really like your opinions. Do hit the comment box below and let the community know. Anyways, guys, this was it for the video. If you liked it, make sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification icon if you're interested in utility coins and potential gems. And you can also support the channel by becoming a Patreon. So do check that out as well. Like I always say in the end, until next time, stay blessed and stay tuned. Thank you very much, everyone.